Warm welcome for LisaSinger. Lisa.
Hey, everybody. Well, thank you. This is awesome. I love Nashville, so it's really great to be here and great to see you guys. Although it's a good thing I let my SAG card lag because otherwise I couldn't be here. So at least the writers' strike is over. Though it's funny, talking with some of you guys, there hasn't been that much of an impact yet, or at least that's what you're saying. You're kind of having a wait-and-see attitude, and that really seems to be the general consensus industry-wide, that advertisers, according to reports, are not reducing their ad spend yet, but they're sort of redirecting it and expanding their media mix. So we're seeing changes like maybe investing in sports or live events or unscripted TV. Love those reality shows. That's part of the reason I left TV. Really going there or going digitally, also going into streaming and also more creative content. Of course, YouTube and Meta, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm sure you've all heard of that. In fact, I believe 66% of consumers are watching video content on social media to find out more about the brand or the products they're interested in. So it's really become a search engine as well. So TV is really playing a huge part in that. But it's really not the end of big screen TV, and by that I mean linear, CTV, OTT, because once content is back, then we all are expecting viewers to come back. And it's really, especially with CTV, that is going to get the lion's share as far as not necessarily it's just expanding more. It's been growing more the last few years, and it continues to be where the ad spend is going. It's also, the reason is because video is important to consumers. It is now more than ever the #1 go-to, whether it's a 30-second ad or maybe an influencer post. Featuring video on your content is one of the most effective ways to motivate consumers and to really engage with your audience. In fact, studies show 80% of consumers prefer video over written context alone, and 88% of them have made a purchase from watching a video. So it's become, you can't not have video and have that be a part of your marketing strategy. So, and it's going to always play a prominent role for that and continue to grow even with everything that's going on. But it's also constantly evolving, not only having to keep your eyes on what's happening with the strike, but also just changing needs of consumers. What are their viewing habits? Dave was talking about really being able to see all the different screens, and that is something we know that as we sort of continue to see new platforms evolve, consumers, especially younger generations, are going to change with that. So we really need to keep on top of those things. So right now, really what needs to be done is, instead of investing in the next big movie or series, because let's face it, we don't know when the next big movie or series is coming out, we need to invest in more audience-centric strategy. It's really about testing the different channels. As I said, different platforms, different channels are continuing to start up, and really following the audience. And there's really no one-size-fits-all. It's about investing in those new channels to complement the traditional channels. So it also needs to be authentic. That's what we're seeing today. Consumers really, especially younger again, which of course that's who you're looking for right now, they need to feel connected with your brand. So instead of a heavily produced ad, they're really responding to real-life content that they can relate to, that they really want to identify with. And actually, a survey from HubSpot, 69% of U.S. consumers say it's more important that a marketing video be relatable rather than be polished and really highly produced, which is a good thing, especially for smaller brands who maybe don't want to invest in all that money. You don't need it. You can do it as simply as with your iPhone. So that's something you definitely need to keep in mind. And those are the key themes that we're going to be talking about over the next few days. We're really going to be diving into that, and of course, we're going to be diving into measurement. You can't have a TV and video summit without talking about measurement, especially measurement across screens, and how to really see. There's no one-size-fits-all again for this. There's no, holy grail of this is how you do it correctly. But it's really trying to figure out the impact of what your campaigns are having, where's success, and also being able to pivot quickly. And that's another thing that all of these newer channels are really allowing you to do more so. And also, of course, we're talking about collecting that data that Dave was talking about. And really, for so long, everyone's been collecting data and not necessarily using it correctly. And that's what we're going to have people sharing as well. So we have Tractor Supply, Ocean Spray, and General Mills. And they're going to be talking about that and how they're really connecting with their audience with that audience-first approach. And they're creating not only engagement, while they're also building customer growth and customer loyalty. We'll also learn from Hyundai. They have a multicultural campaign that we're going to hear about, and they were not only able to authentically connect with these underserved communities, also to be able to do it in the right way. A lot of times you see people just throwing things out there and calling it multicultural. We're going to see it really, this is how it's done. Also, with all the emerging content creators, we're going to hear about them. It's not necessarily the biggest influencer with the most follows. It is the influencer who's truly going to connect with your brand's audience. And of course, we have our signature roundtables, which I'm not sure, I know when John asked, there were some number of people who haven't been here before. Those are really the heart of our summit. They are where this is everything I've just talked about. All the panels, all the presentations, Q&As, they're all on stage, recorded and reported on. The roundtables are not. The cameras go off, and it's just you guys. We leave the room, and you're talking openly about the different topics. We have 3 different topics, and it's really, we'll have a lead marketer sort of kick off the conversation, but then it's an open free-for-all. We want you to ask questions of one another. This is your chance to share where have you been having difficulties? Where are you want to, boast a little bit, and this is what we're doing well. And people will ask questions of you, you'll ask it of them, and it's really an opportunity to learn from one another. And that's what these summits are all about. So you really want to take time